Hello there and welcome back. We have more New Year New Rooks Phase 2. In this series we've got Spartelius versus Sky BRS. Spartelius starting here in the cyan or the teal with the Imperial Remnants, and on Imperial Remnants also Sky BRS in the blue here. And we're on, what was it, Wayland, Wayfair, I can't remember. One of the two. Sort of like a Four Lakes map. Plenty of water, plenty of fish, and a lot of antics going on in the middle. Lots of holocrons, novas, ore to pick up there. And in terms of their starting food, and I better get out of T1, a lot of nerfs here, yet to be picked up here by Spartelius. Using Nunas, go in the nursery. These are raptors. Raptors, man. Get have raptor meat for dinner. Raptor steaks. They look very lureable. 75 HP, 325 food. Seems to be a lot of different figures now for lures. Like the amount of food that they grant. I wonder if they've maybe went a little bit complicated with that, I don't know. 325 though, so 975 food there. Plenty to keep you going, get your carbon up early if you wanted to go and fish. I did this game yesterday, at least this map yesterday, and we didn't really see any fishing till about T3 or so. So I wonder if we will see anyone open up with a shipyard power core or something like that. You can maybe sneak them as well. If your opponent's not really thinking about it, I think it is something that if you're ever playing this map, you should be looking for. Just do a little bit of diligent scouting and make sure your opponent's not sneaking some shipyard somewhere. Because it can catch you off guard if you think that they're more dead than they should. Well, if they are not as dead as you think they should be. You know, you can get caught off guard with that. And also just make you, in general, misread the game. Not seeing that your opponent's making like 15 trawlers in a lake somewhere. And there should be tells, you know, going into their base and seeing what they've got going on for food. If they're not eating any lure right now and they're not even touching their berries, I wonder where all their food's coming from, you know? Meanwhile, you've got like 15 farms or something. We're very close to the lake here for Sky. Sky can even do some sort of shore fishing with food processors. Shore fishing, always very good, very fast food income. And Spartelius getting tucked into the berries here. These raptors to grab up. I wonder if some of the newer players don't really recognise them, because it must be overbearing seeing all these different animals every map that you play. And sometimes just thinking, maybe they're just aggressive ones. You do have to just click on them and see the food that they've got. And Sky definitely munching through his raptors here. Big raptor advocate. One more to grab. Yeah, 3 holocrons. I think we only had 2 holocrons last time. So we got 3 this time. Troop center down for Spartelius, making some trooper recruits, unpowered trooper recruits. Nothing from Sky. This worker looking menacing. These two queued up here. They're going to drop a food processor or a shipyard. Curious to see. He's going for the shipyard. Power core coming down here. By the old trooper recruits. Spartelius on his way to T2. Trying to build up those troopers, get them out before he hits T2. Upgrade them on the way and try and get some damage here against Sky. Get 5 out, could be sending them across now. And get the trooper upgrade. Starting up some farms. There's Sky over here, he does hit T2. We can definitely make some turrets or something if need be. Always make a frigate in the lake too to try and defend his boats maybe, but don't know if he sees this yet. His scout's sort of behind the troopers here. I don't think he has any idea that this rush is coming yet. Spartelius got his scout just ahead. Can I get into a very compromising position here in Sky Briggs' carbon. And gonna kill a lot of workers here. Doesn't have basic training either, so they're dying even quicker than they should. And that's just huge, huge damage. He does have the shipyard to fall back on to maybe catch up a little bit, but he's gonna have to deal with these troopers before he can even get to that point. And so stranded away from his power core. Looks like he was doing some very indecisive walling. I didn't quite get that last raptor either. Looks like a turret's planned here. He's actually got loads of resources. He just doesn't know what he wants to do with them in this situation. Looks like he was maybe planning to sort of T3. Because he's dropped these two medium walls, he can't actually afford a second turret. So going into spaceport. Power cores can slowly die here to these troopers. And then on the other side of things, Spartelius has double carbon processors, adding on some farms, a war center. Don't have a second troop center, but he's not really making much out of it. Made a couple of mounties to come and bolster his attack. And Sky gonna get the second building here, and he could just sell resources and get on his way to T3. There's definitely something he's got on Spartelius here, who's not quite got the resources, but he's getting very close. Gotta remember there's like 9 nerfs ticking away in all those farms, so he shouldn't have any problems really getting the allotted amount of food. This guy on his way here, but he's kind of gone through his bank of resources, and it's a long time that he's just not been mining. And his turret not really guaranteed by the command center either. A few more troops here, just keeping an eye on things and limiting what he can do. He does at least have these boats that are always mining. And you can see Spartelius is about ready to push the button. Just selling some resources there on Nova using the spaceport. On his way, so it's not really much of a window for Sky to do anything in T3. I think he's just not been mining for too long. I think the best solution was probably to build a turret here or something. So he could get his berries back, and then he could get the second turret near the carbon and get his carbon back. He's sneaking some workers right now, but we don't have a power core. Could use the spaceport, sell some food, buy carbon, but I think it's just taken him too long to get to this point. And Spartelius is going to be super well equipped to just throw lots of dangerous T3 units this way. Unpowered strike mech. He's got a huge workload ahead of him. I figured this pop out, try and keep the shipyard alive. I think he might just call it, seeing his opponent's T3 as well. Yeah, GG. So we'll go into game 2. Oof, that's a lot of rain. This rain looks a lot better than the original rain though. On that darker map, can't remember its name. It actually looks quite well done. I also like the idea of the shallows here in the middle of the elevation. You know, it's like all the water's drained in there. Made this little pond, and then obviously it hits the nice mangrove swamp aesthetic that Mudflow has. Yeah, I kind of like this. Got a lot of fambas here. That's really nice. Are they still 250 food? Yeah, nice little food packages. Push them towards the command center with the scout. Spartelius straight on this one. He's actually knocked it back quite a bit there. Needs to put his workers back to kill it. There we go. So Geonosians versus Gungans. And Gungans for Spartelius, Geonosians for Sky BRS. I'd much rather be Geonosians, they're so versatile. You know, technically an air civ too, but then really strong mechs. Solid troopers, great heavy weapons. This guy's worker is very idle there. He's maybe waiting to push the famba. And second famba. I do need to remember to get the hell out of tech level 1. Speed things up or I'm going to be here all day and you're going to be here all day. Stuck watching it. Those are interesting. Normally you don't get very big clusters on Mudflow. Because of where they've spawned, it's kind of, it looks like it's built maybe 2 of them together or spread it out, and that's a nice arc. Looks kind of comfy to start with. These are what they're normally like, right? I mean, that's 2 trees in a row. Looks quite comfy. It does mean though, long term, you're much further away from the center, so you've got to take that walking distance into account. You can see that Sky's put himself, or Spartelius rather, has put himself between 2 clusters here. So you kind of get quite a good arc. You know, 2 sets of workers there with it in between, at least for a while, until the distance gets quite far from the carbon processor. Early troop center for Sky BRS. He has Geonosians, and you know, Mighties are pretty good. It looks like there's a solid path that they're actually not that far from one another when you take this path into account for the center. So he's going for the unpowered mounted troopers and getting onto his food production here. Spartelius though is in the way to T2. Does have a troop center down. But there's a lot to exploit with the mobility of Mounties here. You know, with how far away the carbon processor is. But it would be in Sky to find that. He knows where his opponent is. He does see the troop center. But, you know, will he find the carbon? He at least should understand the carbon's far away. And he looks like he's just going to find it instantly here, man. Oh, so close. Look how close he was. And mounted trooper comes in. Power core is down though for Spartelius. And pops out his own mounted trooper. Did he get this one stuck? Looks like it is stuck. So it's just a 1v1 between these two, but I think the elevation's in favour here for Sky. And Sky does have the numbers. There's a medic popping out, trying to get some healing with the medic, but the medic's so far away. And there's 2 Mounties going down, and this is going to get out of control here. And back at home, he's not actually on Nova, but he doesn't really need to be because he gets basic training for free with this Civ, so he's effectively just got 100 Nova he can throw into these mounted troopers. He's making the mistake of losing them though to the troopers here. And he's forced a turret from Spartelius, and I think Sky maybe should try and keep his mounties alive there, and then he could have like tried and go and find the carbon. Looks like he's going to do that now with the 2. He definitely needs to find that carbon though. It should be something he's thinking about, like, okay, I can't hit this location anymore, I forced this turret, but like me, he must have a carbon that's far away somewhere. And another Mountie rallied in here. Looks like he's forgotten about it though, and it's kind of ran to the turret. It's doomed here with the 2 trooper recruits. And 3 troopers trying to make their way across to Sky Briggs' base. He is T2. He could drop double turrets at his carbon if he so chooses. And ooh, let's find the workers on the way to the carbon. So they're technically just sort of giving it away here. And that'll be an annoying issue here for Spartelius. But he does have his counterattack beginning here, circling around the base. And I'm going to find that worker going for that Nova processor. And trying to wall in here, get a turret. Maybe if he could have gotten the turret up and then walled, could have protected this spot, but no, he's going to have to bash them down. You want to go for this one though, it's only got 13 health. That's like maybe 2 auto attacks from all those workers. And Sky kind of taking a lot of damage here. It's only 3 troopers, man. He is T2. The problem is he doesn't have 10 Nova, because he went for all those mounties. So if he didn't build that last one that ran in and died, he could have just gotten his trooper upgrade. So he's desperately trying to get the double turrets up here. There's only 2 troopers though, it's not the craziest amount of DPS. Probably could have just bashed these down with his workers as well, but the turrets are up, so workers should be fine now. Nowhere for them to stand to escape the turrets. And both players a little bit worse from all that damage, so don't know where we really stand in this game. I'd say, looking at the resources though, Sky Briggs has got a lot more to play with than Spartelius. About 600 carbon just to throw around here, drop into farms and stuff. And Spartelius is about to have a huge amount of idle workers off these berries, because those Gungan workers, they got some berry buffs and bonuses, right? This guy getting punched to death. Just constant uppercuts from the Genosian workers there. And where do we go from here, guys? Spaceport, spaceport. Some of the worst farms I've ever seen being thrown down here. It's an aesthetic sort of garden. If you've got a pathway, this is where you walk between the farms to the command center. So the EF devs need to add roads that we can build, make our workers walk quicker. Like some other city builders are writing this game, so we can justify the gaps between our farms. What's this perfect farming here from Spartelius? Is this risk smurfing? Is that what this all is, really? A lot of workers tucked up here with this turret. I can't actually just close it out. Just in case, man. So it's probably going to be, they both turtle up here, wait for T3, and then, you know, we go from there. A lot of troops out for Sky. They probably should actually just go across. I don't think he has a scout anymore though. You don't really see ahead. Wait, he does. Should really go and keep an eye on his opponent. You can actually do a lot of damage with these troopers. Like, if he went across, he could harass these farms, which is big. Because food, you know, with these turrets and stuff tends to be. But you could, if you dove this carbon, you get so many kills as well. He's maybe respecting Spartelius a little bit too much. His gameplay. Thinking he's got loads of troopers, or he's just going to keep attacking him or what. But this guy's like super ahead here. Spartelius, you know, he's cut the corners. Sky's built these troopers, so He's on his way to T3 now. This guy not quite. The thing we need to remember when we play Geonosians, if you build a war center, you get your armor for free. So might have been a good second building here. I do think these troops just should be out on the map. Just get some damage with them. And if not, could have went war center, build more troopers, and maybe go for the heavy trooper. Go for push here. This map looks wild on the mini map though. It looks like those Zen gravel gardens or sand where they draw the patterns in them. I believe there's a term for it, but it escapes me right now. I don't even know it's the rain unless I think about the rain. Amazing how your eyes get used to that. As I said, this one just seems so much better than the other rain. It could just be looks better on lighter terrains. The two strike mechs come in here, but I mean they're spending their time killing the troopers, which is okay for Sky right now. It's buying them some time. He has T3. Problem is he's just not queued up the mech destroyer. We do need that here, so he's taking damage now, and it's up to Spartelius to get as much damage in here. Got 4 mechs, so 2 mech factories, pumping out the strike mechs as he can. Command center on the way. Grenade trooper. I don't know why we're relying on a grenade trooper when we're T3. Bomber. Bomber's a better one. I still think he should have made 1 MD. I think one of each of those things would be nice. I don't think I would get the grenade trooper though, to be honest. It's a lot of food. Like, I look at that 90 food as like one of my economic upgrades that I would want to get in T3. Especially when there's like 4 strike mechs on you, like 3 you'll just one tap it, right, I think. So quite a few workers going down here for Sky. Sky down to 22 workers to 35, so 30% more. 30% less rather maybe. Let's have the air base. Is that a bomber popping out here? Gungan bomber. Maybe he was going to go for his power core here. Oh, whoa. Oh, don't lose your power core like this. No. Come on. Hello? Hello? Where's this bomber off to? Look for his turrets. Trying to get the anti-air turret here. Sky, you need to keep an eye on things. Sky's getting his attention diverted. All sorts of directions right now. He's struggling. Let's keep these fighters alive. He wants to roam around here and just find areas where there's no anti-air. Spartelius though, pumping out some fighters to defend himself. Unfortunately, Sky not paying attention here. If he was, he could have maybe just sniped this one. Now it's going to get both of them. It's a lot of time. He's just not got any. I don't think he's really got any workers on carbon right now. I think he's struggling big time. It's become an issue on this map with just how open it is. I think turrets are just really good to go for on Mudflow. And I don't just mean the double turrets, I mean go for like 3 or 4. You can even upgrade them if you wanted, maybe a little bit later. Because strike mechs find so much value in all these open angles, it just doesn't feel like you can do much walling on it at all. But additionally you got all the extra ore spawns and stuff, so the turrets don't feel like such a big deal. It's a small price to pay to keep, you know, 5, 10, 15 extra workers alive when things go wrong. So Spartelius looking pretty healthy here. Let's get a new CC over here between these ores and make sure you can just garrison these workers, you know, if something bad comes that way. I mean, he just needs to play safe, really. He's got that big worker lead and then just transmit it into something. I mean, it's too big of a worker lead, I think, for Sky to overcome here. Unless he can find, like, some insane damage with air. But looking at it, he's got less than his opponent now, despite being, you know, double air base. He just can't quite keep everything going. Not even making workers right now. There we go. Just not really any carbon income, and he's got farms that are going to start expiring, which need to be replaced. I think just too far behind here, and it's up to Spartelius to put him out of his misery with whatever strategy he's going to choose here. Comes in with the fighters and makes a bad trade there. Makes Sky feel a little bit better. I think he just hemorrhaged too many workers at the carbon. Command center goes up. And Strike Knight's coming in again. Does have MD. Losing these workers just really makes it worse and worse for him here. I mean, I think this is even fine for Spartelius to be trading, you know, 1 Strike Knight per worker at the moment, because this guy can't make so many at a time right now. But he can. Fortress here. I think all he really needs to do is a couple of MDs, heavy weapons factory, a mobile, and just walk across the map. And just sit around here at the Nova, around these farms, and I don't know if there'll really be much that Sky can do to deal with that. Like, he can't afford the carbon costs of countering that. We'd like to see a Famba maybe join that kind of push as well. That would just make it even more, you know, difficult to deal with. It's such a strong unit in T3. It's like one of the really good things Gungan's got going for it. Particularly in 1v1s and situations like this. When people can't sort of leapfrog T3. You know, like they can in sort of team games and influence of pockets and stuff. The Famba's just nuts. That crazy armor it's got. And it's going to double the health of all your units. Yeah, this card can just, it's so awkward to munch away. Honestly, when you see moments like this, it makes you want to never go to the center and just stay here in the corner. You know, I think in 1v1 maybe it is better to just stay in the corner. Especially this one. This one looked juicy. At least you're like away from your opponent, right? This is like making it right up the front. I think you'd have to be like the big aggressor here to be doing this. And, you know, that way you're just you're building forward, you're pushing forward, and then your units are there to defend you. Strike Mech's always finding an angle, killing a few more workers here, just keeping Sky Briggs down here. The bombers make it just so difficult to make ruler. Like, bombers are so good, just like it makes your opponent have to really, you know, waddle around with the strike mechs. It's like a nerf on, you know, what they can do. I think it would like affect players' macro quite a lot, just because they're not able to just leave the strike mechs there and wait for, you know, like a mech star to shoot them. The bomber forces you to move around constantly. A lot of heavy mounties built up here. Let's see how Sky Briggs is getting on with his eco. 25 to 6, it's just not really getting better, is it? Spartelius is on his way to T4 now. He's got all these mounties, but I feel like he would just have to attack with them and find some sort of window to do damage, but like, what can he really do? Spartelius is so safe at home here. He's got the fortress, he's got the 3 command centers. I don't think there's anything Sky can do against them here. Both motivator upgrades. I've got a second carbon though. He is waiting for this forward to get going, got the Famba out. He's very sneaky with the workers here. Maybe ran around from the Nova. And Sky doesn't have any idea, and he is going with his mounties here, but he will actually probably need them back at home when this attack reveals itself. And Spartelius has such a lead that he could stop all these guys mining, and I think he'd still have more workers active than Sky. These guys could have +2 armor if you just built the war center, since you get it for free, which I think would really help with these troopers, the turret, and the command center fire that they would be facing. We've got heavy strike mech researched here. Not too many war center upgrades, but should do quite a bit of damage. We've got some A mobiles with a Famba, and I don't think there's really any way for Sky to deal with this unless he had those mounties at home, and they're getting split up now, and then they're going to start hitting a lot of attrition here with these troopers. It's only causing a bit of chaos, but again, as we said, he's so far in the lead, it's not really going to do too much to him here. And Sky not really taking advantage of his resources too well. He's built up so much carbon here, but he's just not taken that carbon and scaled it into more command centers, more farms during this time that Spartelius has given him here, setting up this attack. Sif Apprentice was not the answer. Dianaga fighting the Glurg. Who will win? Dianoga. Dianaga. Dianoga. Assault mech. I don't know, Sky. Don't think you can call out this one. Your command center, but it's just too late. He's coming in here, but this is heavy strike mechs with double HP. Bounty hunter here as well. A few of every unit there. A well-rounded little army. Hey. GG, right. On to the next one. We're here on the volcano map. The volcanic river. 2 crossings, quite near one another. Looks very difficult to actually wall it off though. The tan rays are back. So is a Salacious Crumb. And some lava flow. There's a lot of these. Quite a bit of food. And then lots of the nice food stockpiles. Much better than the berries. 100 more food. And Sky with the Republic. And we've got Zan here for Spartelius. Getting tucked into those lava fleas. Maybe killing them very close to command center. Zan, Republic, quite both solid civs, I would say, for 1v1. I think what makes Zan very comfy is that whole, you know, here's 100 Nova every time you attack. And Republic are just, their tech is wonderful for 1v1, especially with Masters. Just having such strong Masters, you can really play around with that. Good air, extra Holo Nova. Yeah, you can prioritize your holocrons. You can see that there's 3 on the side of the map here for Sky. Then 1 just in the crossing, then 1 on Spartelius' side. If you could get those, you could have a very strong mid game. Go Knights or something. Go Knight Fighter. I don't think there's really any early bonuses other than that whole get 100 Nova when you tech. Oh yeah, they hold 1 more pop. I always forget about that one. It's kind of comfy. Although sometimes it can hinder you and show you new forms of being housed that you've never witnessed before. At different population thresholds. But maybe that's just me. Spartelius is really eating all these monkey lizards. Kowakian. This guy made his food processor a little bit far away there. Is that Spartelius? Bit of a jog to bring the food stockpile back. Troop center down. Notice that shenanigans from Sky yet. Sky actually building quite a few prefab shelters at the moment, doing some sort of walling with them. Yeah, actually, it's an easy. If you can put it over here, I don't know if you can put it over these cracks. If you could, that's actually quite insane. You know, like house, light wall or something. Because of these big fat tree clusters and the Nova in between. I think it could have went even more minimalist with just 1 prefab there actually. But I don't know about these cracks to lava. It's one of those things you just have to select the light wall and look. There's 3 trooper recruits out. Spartelius not on the way to T2 at all. This is just 3 trooper recruit rush.
We've been paid. We'll follow orders.
It's not like he's trying to play like Age of Empires with what do you call them? The militia?
We're combat ready.
The Dark Age. This guy didn't finish his walling though. It looks like he can. He needs to live and do it though. No. So close to just walling. Looks like he did slow him down for a second there, but he's in. Trooper recruits are not this quick, it's just we're on 1.5. This is how slow they actually are. I think they've been buffed as well. They are coming in position, they will have some DPS. But without a medic, they are actually quite vulnerable to being beaten to death.
We're combat ready.
And they're not like the best at kiting because of their speed.
Hope your orders are too.
But they should get a few kills here, I would think. Although this turret's going up really quickly. When he walks up, you need to punch him to death. Don't let him stand in the minimum range. See, it's kind of lost a... You can go for the other turret, actually. The other turret can kill him.
We're combat ready. We've been paid. We've been paid. Combat team orders. Your call. Your credits are good. Let's hope your answers are call.
It's a big force, the double turrets. I'd like to see Sky go and finish his wall before more troopers get in. So one thing I see really good players always doing is, like, while those units are here coming in, like they're just sneaking a worker in there. They're closing up the wall, you know? That way there's no follow-up. Well, the troopers do get in here, causing a lot more damage. This guy tries to crawl towards T3 here. Certainly has the resources, but needs his buildings. I think he would have been in a really good spot if he just closed that wall. Another window. I think I should just keep trying. Doesn't want even more troopers coming in. Or mounties or something like that. The other side of things, Spartelius is food starting to climb there. He's got a lot of farms down. Still got that food stockpile. Spaceport up, and remember he's got that free 100 Nova as well. Which just makes it so much easier. It means you have to sell less just to get this 200 Nova to tack up. So Zan will be feeling quite comfy with that. As a bonus. Jedi Temple, never really got the spaceport finished. Could dive a bunch of workers for it. Maybe lose one or two. We would finish it. Let's try and get Padawan out to defend. Padawan is actually the answer here, because he can pick up the holocrons afterwards. 5 troopers are just not going to do it. 3 range only too. He did finish the wall, that's good. Ah, man, I wish you just power chord, Padawan, kill them, finish your spaceport, pick up holocrons, go T3, be Republic. Easy time. You lose a lot there because it was like 70% of the way done. You can start T2. He's going to be able to do a Padawan anyway, yeah, I see. Just so hard maybe to reach the correct decision there in the moment. On his way to T3, Spartelius thought it was almost there. He queued it up not too long ago. Interesting to see what he goes for, because the wall did get closed. He could bring the troopers back and kill off the wall. He could be opening it right now for maybe strike mechs to flood through, but I think he's going to go air bases and just fly over. That's got an extra 100 Nova for free as well. So you can see how versatile Zan can be just having that 100 Nova every time they take up. Rallying bombers here. There's no troop center. His opponent is on the way to T3 though. He doesn't have any ore left, right? He's seen him make the 2 turrets. Where are you going, son? Let's see him clean up the troopers first. And the bomber comes in. Go straight for the turrets here, I guess. Should go for the power core. Airbase on the way. See, if he went for the power core, he could strand the air base for getting the fighters out to defend. Fighter coming in here for some damage. Another bomber and fighter on the way. Padawan getting the holo. Fighter on the way. This guy struggling. Let's get the fighter out and a hard trade ahead of him. The power court, that's gonna die in seconds. 2 volleys from them. It's going in the rally. Oh, when it goes down there, and I think he's kind of doomed there. He had a lot of resources though. He maybe could have just traded, bought the turret. Make things a little bit easier for his fighters when they pop out, you know. We're in a sort of safe zone. But Spartelius, I think, is just going to take this 3-0. Trying to get the anti-air turret now. I think it's just a bit late now. Weapons. 39. What is up? I'm gonna try and do some damage to it with the bombers, but the turret's gonna do pretty well. Let's see, it would take a lot of bomber shots to knock it down. The Padawan still? There's maybe hope. Guess those 3 holos, right? I mean, it's free money. We're just not making workers. Like, if you're gonna catch up, you gotta catch up. So, like, what would we do here? Got 700 food, 400 carbon, right? We got this chap picking up holos. Unfortunately, doesn't know about that 3rd one. That sucks. And that 4th one, they're both so close, right? If we knew, we'd be going straight back there. But two holos, 33% bonus is nice. You can get a 2nd command center. You just sell some food, buy the ore for that. Get 2nd CC somewhere here. Start pumping out those workers. Just turtle for a little bit. Power core on the way. The thing about the power core is, though, it's not guaranteed by the turret, so you can just kill the power core again, I think. Lose the air base of this, right? That'd be too hard for him to keep making fighters, yeah. You can get 2 and then pop them out at his leisure. Go for the fighter, then go for the bombers. Well, the biggest issue is going to be the strike mech that's popped in here. There's quite a few of them. You're going to need to make a mech factory and a mech destroyer. Again, it's such a good position here. He's bombed through the wall, and he's going to call GG there. Just hasn't really given himself the tools to handle this 2nd wave. It's a lot of stuff. It's been a long time he's been under duress and being attacked, so Spartelius is going to take that 3-0, I believe. We're not cooked, yeah. It's 2 cover games there, so GG well played to both players there. And if you like the content, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel if you want to see more. If you want to get involved in these types of games, you'll find our GBG server invite down below in the description field. One for the Expanding Fronts mod, and if you want to support the channel in another way, move to Buy Me a Coffee. There's a PayPal donation link down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.